What is good? What is up? It's Jordan or Texans Thoughts, and I'm back with another film breakdown. Today, we're going to be looking at the Steelers game, and I'm going to go over why the offense looked amazing in the first half and why it shit the bed in the second half. Also going to look at what we can learn from the Steelers run game and improve our own, and I'll quickly go over which cornerback had a day and which cornerback we need to bench. So if you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. Alright, let's break down the film between the Texans and the Steelers because the film don't lie. So in the first half, we had 6 drives, and on 3 of those drives, we scored touchdowns, and the other 3, we went 3 and out. And the main difference between those drives were if we beat ourselves or not. The biggest culprit of that was the pass protection in my opinion. When they gave Watson time to make his reads and find his guys, the offense moved smoothly. But when they couldn't protect him, the drive expectedly failed. The offense had the most success when they went 5 wide. They were able to spread out the Steelers defense, who often played zone, and when you spread out the zones, it creates bigger holes for our weapons to find and for Deshaun to feed them. They even created a mismatch when they caught the Steelers in cover 2 match. Match defense means they line up in zone, but if a wide receiver comes into their zone and leaves it, they still follow them instead of passing them off. So they're essentially playing with man coverage principles. And so we put Brandon Cooks in the slot, and he's matched up on a linebacker, Vince Williams. He's running a go here, but with the safety over top, this isn't likely to be completed. To get him open though, we run Darren Fells up the seam and put this deep safety Terrell Edmonds in a conflict of assignment on who to guard. He takes Fells inside, and Cooks is wide open to the outside, and I believe this deep connection will improve with more games, but will it be too late? Even when the offensive line wasn't perfect, Watson was just dealing. Here, Titus allows some pressure versus TJ Watt, and Sharpen gets bull rushed backwards, but Watson just sidesteps and launches the throw with someone in his face. This is a huge progression from last week, where he wasn't trusting the offensive line against the Ravens, and he was just scrambling when he didn't need to. Also, Cobb runs a beautiful route here, man. He stems it upfield, then inside, then sharply breaks outside. Whew. He was hands down our best wide receiver versus the Steelers, and he and Deshaun are really getting into a groove together. The Chiefs, Ravens, and now the Steelers too were determined to have 2 safeties deep most of the game to take away our deep shots. And while we couldn't figure out how to beat that versus the Chiefs and the Ravens, we had continued success versus the Steelers. So I guess that's a positive out of the offensive play calling. The biggest factor in us being successful on these plays is the pass protection like I mentioned, particularly on the inside. The tackles give up some outside pressure here, but look at the space Watson has to step up. He's calm, composed, and trusts that Kenny will get open on the backside of this dig. If Zach Fulton isn't getting embarrassed, this offense has a chance to be special. This drive accumulated in some classic Deshaun Watson magic that not even a defense that pants the offense can account for. He's just that special, man. So what do I mean by they pantsed us? Well, like I said, the Steelers were in 2 deep coverage all day, and they show that here in the end zone. And versus a cover 2 in the end zone, the Texans love to go to a smash concept, with a curl here to draw down the cornerback in a flat zone, and a slot fade to hit the hole created by that curl. But the problem is the defense isn't in cover 2, they're in cover 3 buzz, as this safety rolls down into a hook zone. And so this cornerback isn't in a flat zone, he's in a deep third, indicated by his leverage. So the smash concept would never work because he has his eyes on the incoming slot wide receiver. Luckily, David Johnson and Will Fuller read that it is cover 3, not cover 2, so they switch up their routes. You can see that Watson is looking their way initially because he thinks it should be open, but nothing is open, and then there's pressure. No worries though, because he's Houdini and can get away and make an off-script play when the defense is scrambling to recover. That's the special thing about Deshaun Watson. If the play call isn't going to beat the coverage, he can still make shit happen. Now, our best drive of the day was at the end of the half with a minute left. We were forced to throw the ball and go up tempo. This got Watson and the offense in a rhythm and he was cooking. All aspects of the offense were clicking, the pass protection was good, weapons were getting open, and Watson was reading the defense quickly. It sounds obvious, but if all those 3 aspects click, we look like the offense we were dreaming of this offseason. The problem is not all 3 of those aspects click all the time. And if just one of them messes up on a play, the entire play blows up. With Bill O'Brien or Tim Kelly, whoever's calling these complex and stupid and useless plays most of the time, it reduces the margin of error to 0. Again, 50% of our drives in the first half scored, but the other 50% we didn't get a single first down. That volatility catches up to us in the second half when we only had 4 drives, 3 of which were 3 and outs, and the last one ended with the interception. So what was the problem? Well, on our first drive we started off with 2 runs because, when you're up 1 point and your quarterback is cooking, you just have to play conservative. And that got us a whopping 3 yards, and on third down we start to see things crumble. Quite often, at the top of Watson's drop, his first read is rarely ever open. I mean, Fuller is right here, but that's his last read when he's scanning this play right to left. He also does have David Johnson, but of course he wants something past the sticks. So no one was open early, but also the offensive line couldn't pick up this accidental stunt when TJ Watt gets pushed into Fulton and Titus doesn't see 91 coming across. Watson still gets it out, but this lack of yak from David shows why he wanted to throw past the sticks in the first place. The running game was horrible all day long. In the first half, Watson was able to make up for it on third and longs because the offensive line was good enough, but in the second half, they were even worse, leading to longer average third down distance. And if you're putting any quarterback in that bad of position constantly, they aren't going to succeed. And with Watson being put in all these third and crazy longs, of course he's going to try and make a hero play here to keep his team into the game. And this wasn't even really his fault in my opinion. Kenny Stills got to know the play is never dead with Watson and keep running to get open. The crazy thing about the second half is that our average time of possession per drive was just 2 minutes and 25 seconds versus the Steelers who had an average of 4 minutes per drive. For the third game in a row, we get killed by time of possession, and that forces the defense onto the field for way too long. And that goes perfectly into my next point, talking about why we got gashed in the run game and how we can learn from the Steelers on how to make our own run game more effective. The Steelers killed us with their power running game, and they got pullers involved almost every time. When they ran simple concepts that relied on execution and making your one-on-one blocks, like the Texans do all the damn time, we were able to shut them down. But they showed us the blueprint of how we can be more creative. I love this counter here where they attack the weak side of our defense. Out of shotgun, you would expect a run to go this way, which is why we load that side of the box. But the Steelers use that against us and essentially eliminate all of these defenders out of the equation with the counter. You can see here that by this guard leaving PJ Hall unblocked, they now have a 4-on-4, and if Merck is going to rush this far upfield and leave his lane, we never had a chance. Here's more creativity out of them as they motion this wide receiver over, and that creates a number advantage on the edge as Roby follows him. Now I'm going to take this time to rant about how bad Brandon Scarlett and Merciless are on the edge. None of them are playing the run well right now, and if they aren't playing the run and being DTS, why the hell are they on the field? Like, I get that Jacob Martin got killed by a puller on the touchdown run, but it's not like Scarlett is any better versus pullers. He's still losing outside contain just as bad, and I hope the coaches see this too and bench his ass. Merck can't deal with pullers either, so honestly, start the GOAT, man. I don't care which of these dudes you gotta bench, but I'm tired of it at this point. Start your more talented player. He's not giving up anything more in the run game than these guys, and he's way more productive in the passing game. Anyways though, this is a play I would love for the Texans to implement. They love to run out of shotgun, and here imagine we get David Johnson to the outside against the weak side of the defense. With the bunch formation to the right, we have our Mike shaded that way, and thus these second level defenders are going to be guys who aren't as good at taking on blocks. Great play design as the left tackle can go straight to Cunningham, then you got 2 pullers. The first one takes on the unblocked edge, and the second one can take on the safety. We've seen that our tight ends can't block linebackers or defensive linemen, and that sucks, but in this scenario, all they gotta do is block a safety. This play can really maximize the talent we have, all while creating a numbers advantage to put us in some more manageable third downs, and that's how we can help fix this damn offense. The last things I want to run through quickly is our outside cornerback situation. Vernon Hargreaves has been straight up awful. We've been playing him in off coverage a lot to make sure he doesn't get beat deep, but this just opens up all the underneath stuff, and he doesn't have the ability to click and close in time. He's not J-Joe, and although no one Pittsburgh wide receiver went off, they were targeting him all day long, and he really didn't give any push back. Weaver tried to adjust to this and put him up on the line of scrimmage, but Hargreaves ain't jamming the wide receiver, and when he zone turns, he just doesn't have the hip fluidity to break back outside. That just ain't happening. He's beat by simple moves, and he doesn't have the athleticism or the ball skills to stop a simple slant. He had 2 PPUs because if you throw at him this much, he's bound to stop it eventually, but man. And then here it is, you put him in press, and offenses know he's gonna get beat deep. We're lucky Big Ben overthrew this, but man, we need Garyon Conley back and healthy ASAP. The bright spot of the entire secondary though has been Bradley Roby. He's been doing damn well all season, no matter who he's matched up against, and he was locked down versus the Steelers too. I'm so happy he's balling out even after getting paid. He ain't just mailing it in after getting the bag, you know? He's been especially good about not allowing the deep ball, and that's something we haven't had in seemingly forever with our corners. His best play of the day came on this nice PBU where he plays the sticks really well. This is a quality I talked about in my video breakdown on him in the offseason, but he always has really good awareness of the situation. On third down, he knows the offense only needs to get about here, so when he loses a step deep, he doesn't panic and start getting grabby. Instead, he anticipates the route and stops on a dime to be in position to break it up. We're going to need him to keep up this play until Conley gets back and gets back to 100% as well. Next week versus the Vikings, I want him on rookie Justin Jefferson, who just went off for 7 catches, 175 yards and a touchdown, and then we should double Thielen and force someone else to beat us. 1 and 3, here we come. Alright, that's going to do it for my Texans-Steelers film breakdown. There's a whole lot we can learn from this game, but has Bill O'Brien ever showed us that he can learn from his mistakes and take concepts from other teams? I think we all know the answer to that. His job is on the line this week, there's no question about it. He's backed into a corner, and what I want to see is if our players will fight for him, or if they want him gone just as much as us. We shall see. But if you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. Huge shout out to all the Texans Thoughts team members, appreciate y'all big time. And if you're looking for more Texans content, check out Texans Unfiltered, all the links will be in the description. Alright, take care everyone, and remember, the film don't lie.